with me in these streets. Sing, children. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. Cause ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
You're tuned in to Tit for Tat. Brief pause. Where we talk, we tell the truth, and we transform. Tell truth, transform. Tit for tat, tat, tit for 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 tat, transform. Now let's talk about it.
Cause I really need to put my audacity glasses on. Cause a lot of y'all be having audacity and then you try to act sweet. You know what I'm saying? So people could overlook it. So you could disrespect people in microscopic bites and shit. Like you nibble with the disrespect. Before you know it, they done took off a whole bite.
All right, listen. I don't have long. I'm really like on a ticking time bomb here. So I was outside doing a little bit of work. And I was just going through YouTube, doing my usual little stroll in the evening. And I said, "Are you kidding me? The strawberry now?" So let me give y'all a little rundown of this rabbit hole, just in case you don't know. So this is my perception. This is not like my overall perception of it. I feel like it's been happening for a long time, but now it's crunch time. It's time to box everybody in, and of course, it's fear mongering, it's energy harvesting, it's all of that. So when I first noticed it, when I'm not sure which states implemented this whole thing with the EBT and junk food, and either they was limited or they couldn't buy junk food with EBT. It wasn't all the states, right? But I know it was starting to be implemented in some states. And then all of a sudden, when people came by junk food, it's like, well, we got to buy our produce. We got to buy, oh, what's that? Okay. We got to buy like, more eggs, more fresh, and you would think that's what you would want for your people, to stop eating all this ultra processed, over processed, junk food, right? You would think you would want that. And then all of a sudden I start noticing like the recall on, certain produce. It's like the lettuce, the eggs. Um, I was notified today about like the beef having worms in it. But you know what? I'm not surprised by that, because it's like even with pork, for the most part, like people that eat pork know, like, come on, like I know we don't want to um face the reality of some things, but it's like do what you do, like live life. We all gotta die one day, right? So if you wanna eat that pork chop, eat that pork chop. But for me, I'm not going to, outside of my own beliefs around it. But it gives me a headache. It gives me a headache. And I love pork chops. Well, when I used to eat pork back in the day. Like, so every now and then, I ain't gonna hold you. I haven't had one in a long time, but I know if it like crept around in my midst and somebody said, "Hey, you want a piece of this pork chop?" and it's somebody I trust and they made it, I might take a little piece. I know I'm gonna regret it later because it never sits well with me, and that's why I stay away from pork as much as possible. But anyway, so I've been noticing that they've been doing a recall on a lot of the like vegetables, fruit, and even like I don't know, like for me, it don't pop up in my algorithm on YouTube. TikTok is more of where people are talking about the quality of their fresh, produce. A lot of people are turning back to going to farmers markets, which I love a good farmers market. I would choose that over, your grocery chain store any day. And here's why, right? Let's pull up this video I came across and then I'll get deep more into it. But I was like, okay, so now y'all playing with the people. So it's kind of in my mind. I gotta make more vertical background, but it's a conspiracy, baby. I know you can't see it. It's wide. Maybe I make one for, um, yeah, I gotta make one for the vertical because this is a test stream for the vertical live. Because I heard like if you do it through YouTube, it's better, but I didn't want to just load up StreamYard and try it. But listen, why are they playing on our top? So now you would think, no, okay, it came out right that they're gonna start taking away or taking out, all these extra added ingredients that you cannot even pronounce in a lot of these in a lot of the food that we ingest. And it's starting with the quote unquote junk food, like the Doritos. Now instead of the bag being red and blue, it got like an outline of a blue and red, but it's white, meaning it's it don't have all those additives, the red 40, the yellow 85, whatever the numbers are, right? Um, so when that started happening, I'm like, okay, this is a good thing because we don't need all that shit. There's a reason why a lot of the ingredients that are in our food are banned in other countries. Don't you think there's a reason for that? But that's another topic for another day when you talk about convenience and people are living in this time where they're kind of forced to, I ain't gonna say forced because the pandemic kind of forced people to come inside, but it forced people to have to work and sometimes they have to work long hours. And I think the last thing people want to do is hop in the kitchen for another long hours it takes to prep these foods and cook because it's kind of like an all day process. But if you're at home, it's kind of easy. I ain't gonna say easy, but you're able to maybe, if about to cook some black eyed peas, so you're separating the beans and maybe you work from home, so you're doing the beans and the computer at the same time, and then you can like check on them periodically during the day, type of thing. But for the most part. The people that are away from home for hours, the children are away from home for hours because they're in school, after school activities, all that. Y'all getting home 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. The last thing y'all want to do is cook. So forcing people, in my opinion, to like, and I'm saying like, especially the ones who are being affected by the EBT where they can't buy quote unquote junk food. Like I said, you're gonna put a limit on what people uh can get as far as trying to feed their families because unfortunately those big old boxes of chips that you can get at Sam's Club for like almost $20 and they have about almost 100 and something chips. That's more convenient for the kiddos for a little snack than but I love the side of TikTok or the algorithm that I've been dropped in where now you know parents are preparing more healthier snacks. Like, I love a good celery and peanut butter. I don't know about y'all, but celery and carrots with some peanut butter or some kind of dip or something. Like they're making it fun, they're making it vibrant. I love a good avocado dip, especially homemade fresh, right? But back to talking about the quality and the freshness of the produce. The one thing I've noticed and even going to Publix. Now, Publix is one of those, I don't want to call it a high end store. it's just really high as fuck for, I ain't gonna say some of the same products, but it's like, to me, they always kind of had the more fresher produce, but it was a little bit more expensive. I don't mind paying for quality if I can get it right. But lately, for a little minute now, I've noticed the quality's been going down. And it's been across, you know, been across the board, from like people complaining about Walmart, people complaining about K. Rogers, right? People complaining about damn Publix, and all your kind of popular food chain stores, and the quality of, like, even not even just the produce, but like the processed food. Like, I don't know how real this is, but there's been videos going around of like people buying bread and they wet it and it kind of turned like spongy like. And they're like, why is my bread spongy like? And then they said they know they bread is fake because it's not molding. I'm like, I don't know what kind of bread y'all getting where it's not molding after a certain point that it goes bad. But once again, so many preservative and added into these foods, causing them, of course, longer shelf life, but how is that affecting our health overall? Sorry, I wasn't even looking at the chat. Hey, twin. Hey, girl. Hey, H&M. How you doing? This is just a test stream, kind of waiting for, and it's completed. A video I was working on to upload. 'Cause I was doing some work, and so, like I said, I came across this video. Let me go ahead and bring it on to the screen, because, like I said, I'm a whole mom out here. My time is limited, and oh, I didn't add the audio, and the time I really have away from him, right? And I'm cool with that. But anywho, let's check this out. But somehow, some way, I'm gonna figure out how to connect StreamYard or YouTube, or do live through YouTube. But I know you can do like the stream key and you can go live through StreamYard. But I think the only downside of that is you can't really use a lot of the features in it, if I remember correctly, because it was something like I couldn't like highlight the comments or things like that. But I think I could do everything else. But other than connecting to the comments, I couldn't. But um yeah, that was okay right here. Okay, I hope y'all can hear it. Let me make sure everything is good. But this is crazy. So this was posted how many hours ago? Hold on, I got it on another setting. So this was posted just a few hours ago, an hour ago, literally. So it says in the description, the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, has upgraded its recall, upgraded of certain frozen berries to the highest risk level over concern of E. coli, and that's been the concern of a lot of these produce in the first place. Is like they're being somehow cross contaminated with E. coli, and it's like, wow, you don't find that strange? And once again, they say, well, it's Trump's fault because um he was firing a whole bunch of people, and the people that was over the that was working at FDA, that was over the quality inspections and stuff like that, now has degraded. I'm like, okay, I get all of that, but it's like, so once again, just your fresh food, you would think there would be like a recall on a lot of these, but once again, I think a lot of this is by design. But that's just my conspiracy. But let me see if y'all can hear this.
FDA now warning that eating some frozen blueberries could potentially kill you. That's right, kill you.
Now, watch. They're gonna start. See, this is what they do. And when I say they, y'all know who I be talking about. The PTP. The media can be used as a tool of trickery. If you even look into the, I think, the etymology or the origin, like depending on how it's used, it can be manipulated in order. Once again, scare tactic, fear mongering, all that good stuff. But it's funny to me, right? It's like you would go to the extreme and say it can literally kill you. I wonder why? Because you're ingesting feces. Why is it? Why is this shit coming across? So now people are moving. Like once again, farmers markets for me. is where it's at for me, for the most part. And thank goodness I kind of live in the facility where it's, depending on where you go, it's like it's not too much of a long drive. But the one I like to go to, it is about a good 35 to 45-minute drive, right? And where I'm at, going anywhere sometimes it can be anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour, depending on where you're trying to go. And I mean one way. So I'm willing to take that trip to get, like I said, fresher, better quality, different variety. Because when I say different variety, you guys come from different countries. I just and just walking in there. But one thing about the one I like to go to is every time I go, it's always compacted. Like you really have to like know what you want to go for and kind of get in and get out type of thing. But me, I don't let that crowd affect me too much. I know that I like the brown. I want to like experiment and say, oh, I haven't tried this before. Because you know what I want to try? Because my aunt, she was a I think she still is a vegetarian for a long time. And one thing she used to do was like make leeks, like leeks, Leeks. And I'm like, and I tried it and it was so good. And the way she seasoned everything, it kind of reminded me of green, not like the look of it per se, but the way like she prepared them. And I said, see, if I can get into more like recipes like that and things like that, because I'm at the age where I love vegetables more now. Like, listen, I had to grow up a little bit, but I'm loving vegetables. Like it's really like my taste buds have like changed a lot after being pregnant and things like that. So it's like it really has opened me up to being more aware, more, insightful, and where I not only what I put on the outside, but what I'm putting on the inside. Cause listen, when you're breastfeeding, for me, especially in those first early months, and even now, it's like I stay hungry. So I need a quick snack. I need something, nutritious. And I ain't gonna hold you. Like I love a good, like I said, I can eat me some celery, I can eat me some broccoli. I love my vegetables raw more than, cooked for the most part, but I do love roasted vegetables. But for me sometimes that doesn't do it. A good, let me see, a good a chocolate chunk chip cookie. I know I said that all backwards, but it's nothing like a chocolate chip cookie from Chick-fil-A that just, that just does the trick, right? But, we try. But anyway, let's listen to this. But this was dropped today, and I just say, yeah, y'all playing with people food. But it's in my mind, once again, it's in a way, it's inserting a control. It's a control mechanism. Like, see, um, now since you can have the ultra processed food, which is better for you, but let's kind of mess with the produce where you're now kind of forced to maybe buy more canned goods, and then, or yeah, canned goods, and then what happens after that? So to me, it's like a game, and being mindful of that game is what's important to me. But let me play this clip for y'all.
Not make you sick, kill you. This as it
Okay, let
ups
me
the
go
E.
back.
coli
See,
threat.
you see how extreme it is?
FDA now warning that eating some frozen blueberries could potentially kill you. That's right, kill you, not make you sick, kill you.
Not
This
make
as
you
it
sick, literally kill you. And so here we go. Green wise. Now for me, green wise is one of those when I go look in, the store. I think they're not too much expensive, but green wise you would think that, oh, more natural, more organic. It doesn't say organic on there. No, it says whole blueberries, but I can't see on the package if it says organic. Hold on.
ups the E. coli threat to its highest level. We're talking about these prepackaged blueberries and mixed berries from the brand Greenwise.
Prepackaged.
Publix grocery stores pulled them off the shelves across the country a few weeks back.
All right, so they're giving us a map. See, I didn't even watch this prior to, hitting the live button. I really said, you know what, I think this will be kind of a good topic just to, um, you know, bring into the algorithm, right? Okay, yeah. Just hit me up on IG, definitely. Definitely. Um but see, okay. Let me make sure I'm hitting this over here. Cause like okay, like I said, I'm doing it through StreamYard, so it's I'm going back and forth between the video. Um but okay, so we're looking at the South region of things. So is it like it's going to start there and start spreading across? But once again, when when they talk about stats and our numbers, who are going to be most affected by this? I'm just being real. Like who's going to be affected most by this? Because it's like, well, black people live in the South the most, or it's more black people in the South the most. And I'm sure I'm not saying it's not going to be in the richer or better neighborhoods. All I'm saying is the fact that it's starting in this region, not quite surprising to me. So it's just really one brand at the moment that it showed, but I'm not surprised that now, they say, okay, well, it's fresh produce that we're dealing with. Now let's mess with the frozen stuff because people's like, well, if I can't get fresh, I'm gonna start get frozen, and that's what people started doing. And I think sometimes it may be important to like move in silence when it comes to, what your plans are. And I think social media has kind of made it one of those things where you want to share. You don't want to gatekeep a lot when it comes to the information, and I appreciate that, right? Like, um, with people, sharing this information about what's happening to the produce, people are becoming more aware, saying, okay, well, I'm gonna start buying, um, what is it, frozen, and so they start buying frozen. Then guess what happened now? Guess what happened now? Oh, we got recall on frozen. Now this is just the blueberries. I don't know what else has been added to the extensive list of this recall, but it's not surprising to me that this is taking place because once again, control. And how do you, put a level of fear into people? That's by messing with what they need in order to survive and sustain themselves. And once again, what is one of the main components to your overall well-being? Your gut health is like the core of where it begins. So think about it. This is crazy to me.
Back over potential E. coli contamination.
Okay, it says potential, but just the idea they adding this to the list is not.
This is where the outbreak stands. A dozen cases in Florida. In Georgia, they have 4 of those ending up in the hospital. The CDC says the true count is probably much higher. Dr. Akashe Sal.
Cause it's so much going on. I can literally, you know what? I'm probably gonna like one day. I need to create a folder and just put like um just different like clips of even because a lot of them come from the news, but just the different things that are being recalled and all the like stuff that's happening. Like I don't want to say this because I feel like once again, once you put it in the and even by bringing awareness to it, it's kind of putting it in the people's brain like, oh my god, because it's like if it doesn't exist to if you don't put attention to it, it doesn't exist, right? But just being mindful of it. But it's like one of those things where um it what was they saying? Like be careful. Was it on the beach? I can't remember what beach it was or what beaches they were referring to. But it was like, oh yeah, be careful of the flesh eating something bacteria that's in the water. I'm like, see, it's like it's always something. And I understand the people now that don't watch the news. I'm one of those people that really don't watch the news, but it's one of those things where YouTube has like a whole you can be streaming, I mean not streaming, you can be strolling and there's going to be like a line of news stories that's going to come across. Maybe this is just my feed, but to me I feel like it's just a way for them to like try to force this into my algorithm. And every now and then I oblige and you know entertain and see what's going on. But I said, see, this is why I don't watch the news. I haven't watched the news in years just for this and this alone. But then people say, well, if you're not aware of this, then see, that's why, people are going to get sick. But it's like they say 4 cases. Now, you may say, well, 4 cases, not that many, it's not that bad. You, ri- you're right in so many words, but it's also another thing where I see the pattern in the people that are being affected. Let me do a little research. Okay. So, what state? Okay. Can y'all hear me? Okay. What states? Okay. Let me try something because I want to see if I can connect to it. I mean, not connect to it, but if it's going to be like a good background. Okay. Oh, sorry. Come on, play. Can y'all hear that? Okay. Just skipping. I forgot that's how it starts. Yeah. Anyway, so let me put this in the background. Cause it seems like it's a little too quiet in my ears, but I was actually listening to my surroundings because I'm out here on the back porch, and we got the woods back here, so I be listening to the sounds of nature. Do y'all remember those CDs? I remember my parents had those CD packs where you got the sounds of nature, so it can be thunderstorms, um, the dolphins in the ocean, the tropical forest, the rain, like different sounds of quote unquote nature. And no lie, I was that kid that had a whole stereo system in her room, and I definitely would pop that CD in at night, especially when I first start sleeping in the room by myself. It was too quiet. I need a fan on or I need some background noise. All right. So anyway, I don't know why that I thought of that. Oh, because of this. Anyway, let's look up what dates were affected by the EBT process food. Because I want to make it distinct in what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay. I'll just put that in. And maybe it'll give me an idea of the the states that were affected by the whole, like, they couldn't buy, junk food, or what I would call junk food. Okay, why didn't that come in it? Is it taking me to the AI? Okay. This is weird. Okay, so for the people that's, coming in or listening, I am I am I use DuckDuckGo as my what you call it, search engine or whatever, and also as my browser. And so I go to the search and it goes straight to like an AI, like a chat GPT type of thing, and I'm like, and I I usually kind of use one or two things at the most sometimes when it comes to AI, when it comes to generating things, and then I will use other I may use another app for like videos and stuff. But yeah, I try not to leave my tracks across, but DuckDuckGo I think is more protected. It don't really track you and um take your data and stuff like that. And that's one of the main reasons why I use it. But hey, Luana, good evening. How you doing? Good to see you. Um, so okay, we'll do this. So it says here, if you mean, let me see, where the states SNAP EBT benefits are restricted for processed junk food affected. States included Arkansas, Colorado, Florida, Hawaii, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Louisiana, Missouri, a lot of these places. Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Virginia, and West Virginia. The restrictions may vary by state. Most targeted sodas or sweetened drinks, while some also restricted candy, energy drinks, prepared desserts, or broader categories of processed foods. Iowa, for example, uses a broader rule involving taxable food items. So it's like maybe they can buy them, but they won't like be like they won't take the tax off of it. Like how when people buy things from EBT, they take off the tax. They won't take off the tax with the processed food. That's what I'm gathering, or maybe that's just my perception. Important: these rules generally do not ban all processed foods. Such items as bread, cereal, canned vegetables, pasta, meat, and most packaged foods may still be eligible unless specifically included that state's waiver. Also, some implementation dates or approval may have changed because of court action. So the exact rule depends on the state, and the date. Okay, and then I love like when AI give me sources. So we got one from the USDA and ABC News, and then this one up here was I think I saw another one. Okay, the USDA. So a lot of states were affected by this rule. So it was more not like processed food in general. It was more like the ultra processed, like the candy, the sugary drinks, and things like that. Once again, I wasn't against that per se because it's like a lot of that if children are eating, but I'm not saying that when adults eat it, we're not affected. I I don't want to say this, but I want to say we probably had became more like we had kind of adapted more to it. But did we adapt to it, or are we being affected in other ways? Right? Is our skin being affected? Of course, our guts being affected, or is our mental being affected? Because imagine, drinking them energy drinks over sugary drinks because we're trying to get some energy or boosting our system. Imagine the effect that can have just on the body, and then the long-term use of it. But once again, when you're in a society that's working, extensive hours, right? They're out there for a long amount of time because once again they're working. Because I came across, I think I'm gonna do something like that. I came across something where what was it? It came into my mind and it went away. They were talking about like how long these kids are staying in daycare, and like these kids are in daycare anywhere from 8 to 12 hours. And I'm not saying all. I'm just going based off what I see, based off the what's coming across my algorithm. But just like I guess the conversation about the children being in some kind of daycare, aftercare for so long, and they're separated from their parents for a very long time. So I'm like, sheesh. And so you're wondering why a lot of people are turning inward these days, because in a lot of these facilities like daycare, they're still not getting, they're not getting paid a quote unquote livable wage here. So there's of course stories which I ain't gonna say choose to ignore. I do shed light on it by sharing and reposting sometimes, but it's like, oh, this happened in a daycare and a child got hurt or got, whatever. I'm just like, no, I don't play those games because something happened to my kid. I'm giving you fisticuffs, right? Somebody call it Rambo's. I just might. I don't want to put that out there in the atmosphere. Come sitting outside, but it's just like, don't mess with mine, and we'll be good. But anyway, let's listen to this.
Is here to talk about this one. So, Doc, I mean, how does raising the threat here change how people should be buying their groceries?
Well, so this has to do with the sort of level of risk that the FDA has assessed.
Okay, since I'm only 48 seconds in. I'm gonna go back to the beginning because it's like a 3 minute clip or 3:33. All right. Hey, Elbergun, how you doing? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. So for the ones coming in, we are looking over this 3 minute clip, and I've been live for 35 minutes, waiting for something to finish up. And I decided to kind of, like I said, kind of bring awareness to it. But what I'm bringing awareness to is more of the play and not kind of, okay, it's like be cautious, of course, but don't be like too overly cautious where it's like, oh my gosh, see, I can't eat. It's like people get to the point they're like, okay, we can't, like, nothing is safe. The water ain't safe. The air ain't safe. The products ain't safe. Your food ain't safe. Like, so even the seeds that they are, quote unquote, telling you, blah, 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 ain't safe, right? They have to go get their seeds from, people, whatever. So that's why I say just live your life. Live your life and, you know, be intelligent the way you move. And, I love once again, the fact that people are turning more back to like and I don't want to say this in the quote unquote gender conversation, but kind of the like homemaking type of activities where, they're making their more of the food from scratch. And I'm not saying like a Nara Smith type of co-op thing. I'm talking more about like, once again, instead of always eating out all the time, they're like, no, we're gonna cook at home, right? We're gonna eat more fresh food, better foods that, once again, we know we prepare with love for the most part. Because when you're buying outside food, even if you're buying like soul food, right? And that's why I love sometimes not the I love the hole in the wall type of places, but I'm talking more about places like, that's handling your food. You got to be careful because you don't know what they doing. I saw a video today, I think it was on TikTok. And was it McDonald's? Was it a McDonald's employee? Oh my God, over there. And somebody said like there's not enough grease on that man's finger to be doing what he was doing. Do I need to go find that clip? I might need to see. I feel like this is the effect of, once again, technology, one thing to another. Let me go find my TikTok. I think it was on TikTok or it was on Instagram. Got to be one or the other. But anyway, you saw, he's in the kitchen and whoever food he was preparing, like, that's why I said, I see why you have quote unquote, and this is not a pun. I mean, it is a pun intended, but when they say pray over your food, when other people prepare it, I see why. So whether you pray, you meditate, you bless it, however you put a miracle on that bitch to make sure you don't get sick from that hoe. Because, once again, unless you know who prepared it or you watched it for yourself with your own two eyes, you don't know what these people doing. That's like even, oh my God. See, sometimes I be saving these videos and I know it could be like random folders, but I've been kind of better trying to make them folders to make them more organized, right? But my brain, imagine 17 months of, not even 17 months, but more like almost 2 years of sleep deprivation. Yeah, imagine that. Cause I had a newborn. Hello, and the no sleep started when I was pregnant. So, okay, so it's not on TikTok. So it had to be Instagram. But yeah, he was preparing the food, and then he licked like he like licked his fingertip, and I'm just like, okay, first of all, he had on gloves. That's what threw me off. You got on gloves, so you lick the fingertips of the gloves, and then you touching people's food with it? Ew. And so anyway, there was a video that came across my feed of a DoorDasher. They was coming out of hold on, I'm going to Instagram and see if I saved it in one of my folders there. But no, like somebody was filming, and listen, with the AI, the meta glasses and all that, like people are able to record, kind of right on the spot without having to hold up a phone. Like, people that wanted to kind of record things on the fly had to do it strategically, trying to hold up a phone. But now they get in these AI glasses. So I'm not saying that's how they got the footage. I'm just saying the accurate of the angle in which it was recorded. The man was coming out the restroom with somebody DoorDash order, and I think it was McDonald's too. I said, McDonald's, you slipping. And you know what? See, I can't say McDonald's because I'm not a fan of McDonald's like that anyway. But I'm saying, like, once again, we're trusting, oh my God, we're trusting any old body with our food. And once again, you couldn't like go to the bathroom first and then grab the food. No, you see them walking out with the food. But let me not judge. Maybe it was their own food, but the way it was packaged, it looked like a DoorDash food. All right, yeah, I don't think I saved it. I wish I could show y'all. Maybe, let me just look for it. Hold on. Stop being lazy. Because I'm sure if I put it in the description on TikTok, not the description, the search engine, something should come up. But, like, he literally walked out of a restroom. Okay, see what I had to start playing that song. Okay, hold on. Man walking out. Okay. A restroom. DoorDash. Nah, they got Rihanna's Rude Boy playing in my ear as soon as I went to TikTok. And I'm trying to search and I'm over there whining and grinding. See, right freaking here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I know that we're doing a vertical stream. I'm just testing it out, so thank y'all for bearing with me. But right here, like, and like, let me turn that down. We don't need all that. DoorDash 10 minutes later. DoorDash a cart using bathroom with customer. Like I said, let me just assume it's his, but I am not gonna assume it's his because if it was his, it would be in a different packaging. The people that's going through the window.
Like, what did I just now watch?
I
Let me
don't.
tell you what you
Yeah.
just watched. You just watched your DoorDasher take your food into the bathroom with
I'm
him,
spazzing. What you
do a
mean?
number 2, and then come deliver that food to your house. That's what you just
You
watched.
see what I'm saying? But how would you know?
Because McDonald's don't care. The transaction is over. The food is
It's
already paid
done.
for. So once he takes that food from the counter, the transaction is over. They could care less where he goes, what he does with it. It's over with.
Right.
So what you need to be asking yourself is, would you eat some food if you knew that your DoorDasher got your food off the counter, went into the bathroom,
Probably not.
sat your bag on the ground, because we know they don't have any tables in the bathroom. He wasn't in the
But see, this is the
family restroom.
layer
He was in the
conversation
men's.
that we're gonna have here because once again, we're in this convenience kind of era in life. Like, you can put some money in somebody's pocket that has some time on their hands or need extra money to do something that you don't want to do, right? Which is get out there, get in traffic, go get your food, and come back home, right? So it's like doing you a favor, but in the midst of that, we can't just label it or put it only on DoorDashers, because we can talk about the DoorDash all day. But once again, what about the people preparing your food too? We don't know if their hygiene is up to par just because the sign says wash your hands. Because it'd be in the bathroom, plastered on these walls. Sometimes they be having the little stickers on the mirrors when you're washing your hands. And it even says, employees, wash your hands before and after, for the most part, before you come back to work, especially in the food industry. Like, the fact that you have to kind of put that sign up there is very telling, but it's a reminder. That's not just for the employees. Like, yes, as you, as a regular ass person, wash your hands. But he said because we don't Because why don't more restaurants see cleanliness as a proper protocol? Anything with my name on it, it has to be of quality. And see, you know what? This gonna be a separate stream, but the CEOs are being affected by this, but not by the cleanliness. They're being affected in their pockets because guess what? With the prices being raised high, and once again, less people are eating out. Even the alcohol sales has tanked, right? Because this generation, really like the Gen Z, they're not really like drinking like that, like we were, or even the gen maybe the generation before. So they're seeing like a level of like of the pockets being hit, and so with more videos getting out here about what be happening in the background, yeah, people thinking twice about getting their food out. But once again, it's like one of those things, even at Chick-fil-A, and they say it's my pleasure, and it's like the chicken is from the gods themselves, because why they close on Sunday? Because they're probably cleaning up that bitch from head to toe. Maybe that's the day, they really shut down and do their thing. Or maybe that's where the conveyor belt from heaven is extended, or, descended down, and, dropping off some chickens. I don't know. But the point is, I feel like it should go all around. And maybe I'm gonna look up that video next of or it don't have to be that particular video I saw, but just behind the scene thing. So tip, you messing up people's mentality and not saying I'm messing it up, but it's like one of those things, like you're gonna go into a fast food restaurant really thinking twice about who's handling your food. And for me, not to be, paranoid and overthink about it, out of sight, out of mind. That's what I'm gonna do, because it's like I'm here. I know exactly what it is. It's like you do or you don't. Either you're a vegan, you ain't gonna eat the food, and you're gonna be at home and prepare more whole food cooked meals, which I am all for. Or is it gonna be a thing where once again it's people and their integrity, and all that thing's a quick buck. It's like it don't matter how I handle your food as long as it gets to you. So it's a good thing that they package the bag that way, where they they're stapling it now, because um it solidifies that it's secure, and the only way somebody can get into it, that somebody open it. And you like, if you're desperate to open it and re-staple it back at the same exact spot, you're a psychopath. But other than that, I think it was a smart move to do it like that, because of instances where somebody may say, "Oh, I grabbed the food, but I gotta go take a whiz now. Let me go take a quick pee break." But somebody said, "Oh, 10 minutes later." That's not a pee break. And where did you put that food, sir? I'm sure it was on the ground.
So he sat your bag on the ground, probably
Yeah.
next to him on the toilet.
Obviously.
Sat down, did a number 2, wiped his
Oh
butt,
my God.
flushed the toilet, got up.
He put in the sound effects.
We don't know if he watched.
Get me out. Like the sound effects, yeah, that was too much. But see, that's what I'm saying. All that is in your mind. And I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't DoorDash often, but the few times I have, I've had thoughts where I had thoughts where, like, if the DoorDash is taking a little bit too long, and it's like, okay, you're following it on the map, and you see that they stop somewhere, so you're like in your mind, maybe they stop for gas or something. But it's like, yeah, please, just I hope my food is in the back seat, out of sight, out of mind, and it's safe. But yeah, I be having thoughts sometimes, but it's crazy to me. It really is. But the sound effects is even more crazier.
His hands or not. There's no cameras in there, but we do know that he was in there.
And that's another thing. I know I was going on my rant with that, but that's another kind of well, I kind of said it, but I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole again. Like, the number of people that don't wash their hand is flabbergasting to me, because once again, working in the hospital, working in motels, hotels, the Holiday Inn, right? Because I worked in the cleaning industry for a long time, even from doing commercial properties, residential, things like that. But one of the things, especially being in the service industry, the amount of people I've seen walk into the bathroom, come out the bathroom, and go straight for the door and touch the door handle. See, that's why I don't touch the door handle with my bare hands. If it's one of those doors I can just, push open, I'm kicking it open. I'm using my foot, or I'm not touching the door now. I'll use my shoulder before I do that, and then as I'm coming out, I'm grabbing a paper towel. But if I'm in one of those bathrooms where I don't have no paper towels, I'm like using my wrist, or I'm doing something, everything but my hands, and then I'm going to find some hand sanitizer and I'm sanitizing my wrist if it was that serious. But anyway, so
Longer than 10 minutes.
that's
So he
my
definitely didn't do a
time.
number one. He did a number two.
Mm-mm.
Grab your bag off the floor
Off the floor.
and then go get in the car and deliver.
Okay, it's obvious. It's obvious. Okay, so we got another one. See, now we're going down the rabbit hole.
Gonna keep telling y'all about these DoorDash drivers, okay?
And see, this
Now
is
this
not, once
is
again, this is not putting like any negativity on door dashers, because once again, I know that's like bread and butter for some people. Some people can make good money doing DoorDash or doing Uber, Lyft, and all those other transportation type jobs where you're taking somebody somewhere, bringing them their food, Uber Eats, right? But it's like we gotta be mindful, people. Be very mindful.
wrong. Now you could have did whatever you needed to do. You could have left the people food in the car. When you use the
In the
bathroom, wash your
car,
hands, whatever you needed to
exactly.
do. But you did not have to take these people food in the bathroom and put it on the floor. You know what I'm saying? This is not right.
Okay, but yeah, but
And I also seen a video that this man was in Walmart and he
in
watched the
Walmart,
DoorDash driver go in the bathroom with the people order. When he went in there, the man had the order behind his back and just using the bathroom.
oh wow,
You know what I'm saying? He was like, man,
man,
that's messed up. That's somebody's food. Why would you do that? He followed that man all the way down there out the store. I'm not understanding. And it's not for all DoorDash driver. So if you are doing
and
the
it's
right
on the floor. That's a public restroom. See, I'm spazzing. But once again, you don't know, so you just have to let go. And what they say, the good Christian folks love to say, let go in these type of scenarios, cause child. Okay, so let's do another one. Okay. Okay, person. All right, okay, what's a man? Man licking fingers. Preparing order. Because I can't remember if it was McDonald's. I knew it was fast foods. Put that. Fast food. And there we go. See, fart right there. Right there. And they laugh. That why? Look at that. Okay, where we at? I can't really see, so maybe okay. Oh, it says McDonald's in the description, duh. So it says a McDonald's employee caught licking his fingers and touching food just because they put on gloves doesn't mean they are clean. So once again, it starts in the kitchen. He got a glove on the right hand, and he's touching your food. He's touching the cookies. He's putting. That's just, oh my God. We don't see a problem with that. Yes. Oh my God. Why even pick up the order until you like? Why? Like, I don't know. Some people like intentional, or they don't use whatever part of that brain that says this may not be a good idea. This ain't clean. This ain't clean. This ain't clean. This ain't sanitary. And you would think that's common sense. but I realize some people don't have common sense. Right? So yeah, so this is starting to kind of get out there more now, but yeah, the views are still kind of low, but yeah, it's starting to. This one got 22 views, 16. This one got 729. Um, okay, so you got a few people starting to react to it. So yeah, it's like, and once again, I don't know if they got on some Meta glasses or AI glasses. I don't know if they're using their phone, but the fact that people are catching this in real time makes me think like, yeah, you have to be careful out here what you doing, because you can be out here crying on the creek, and I don't even want to use that term, right? Cry on the damn creek, getting caught up, um, getting into something. Okay, all right. So let's finish this one. But yeah, so those were the states that were affected. Okay, we looked at that. I'm just closing some windows. How are these windows still open? But yeah, so once again, the blueberries. Let's get back to, I know you're fucking lying. The frozen blueberries? No, please no.
FDA now warning that eating some frozen blueberries could potentially kill you. That's right, kill you, not make you sick, kill you. This as it ups the E. coli threat to its highest level. We're talking about
I
these
was questioning
prepackaged.
earlier, why E. coli even making its way across the produces like that, right? And so I know I mentioned earlier, with the whole people I think being fired from the CDC or the FDA and stuff like that, so things aren't being checked like they should be properly and things like that. But once again, in my mind, it's not a coincidence, and it's not just the quote unquote people that are on assistance being affected, but the reason why I made that correlation, because with the state that had eliminated was limited to certain processed foods or ultra processed foods, they started buying more fresh produce or even frozen, because there started being a recall on the fresh stuff. So now I'm not surprised frozen is being thrown into the mix. But yeah, let's watch this and then I'm gonna skedaddle. I wasn't even supposed to be on here for a whole hour, but yeah. E. coli is rising because people are nasty. The facilities aren't up to par. That's why, and I believe that too. I believe that too. Like I said, it always start in house a lot of time, and because even there was a video, and I can't remember where they was at. I want to say maybe Walmart, but in the produce section, like behind where the mist, the water that goes over the produce to keep them nice and moist and not dried out. When they pulled it from the wall, there's a thing in the back of it, and that was filthy. And even the water that's being sprayed on it, it was just all moldy and stuff. I'm like, see, but see, I don't like buying my produce from Walmart anyway. If one of those rare occasions you'll see me eating or even buying produce from Walmart, K Rogers all the way. If I'm that hard up on some produce, but K Rogers, Publix, and then the farmers market at the top of my list. But I'm just saying, Walmart, I gotta be damn near desperate to get some produce from Walmart. I'm just saying, but not judging anybody that do.
Blueberries and mixed berries from the brand Greenwise. Publix grocery stores pulled them off the shelves across the country a few weeks back over potential E. coli contamination. This is where the outbreak stands. A dozen cases in Florida. In Georgia, they have 4 of those ending up in the hospital. The CDC says the true count is probably much higher. Dr. Ikyfl Sile is here to talk about this one. So, Doc, I mean, how does raising the threat here change how people should be buying their groceries?
Well, so this has to do with the sort of level of risk that the FDA has assessed, right? And it's assessed through something called a class recall. So, when the FDA recalls products, they put them into different classes, class 1, class 2, or class 3. I mean, as you alluded to, this is a class 1 recall. This is the FDA saying that these sort of product that they're recalling could cause serious adverse health consequences or death. You may recall, Ryan, a few weeks ago, earlier this summer, we heard about an egg recall linked to salmonella. That was also a class 1 recall. So this isn't the first time we're seeing that, level of seriousness in terms of a food recall. Class 2, Ryan, could be products that could potentially make you sick or potentially make you temporarily sick. And class 3 is something that they're recalling that is unlikely to make you sick. So out of the 3 classes, this is the highest category, the most serious, and why people need to take this recall so seriously.
Well, we're taking it seriously in my house. I mean, we have 4 kids. We eat a lot of frozen blueberries. It's kind of a staple of our diet. It should,
because one of those things, it's like canned goods. You can put them up, for a while, that they last longer, of course, than fresh foods at times. So, some people rely on that. But imagine now, I just see an uptick of a lot of those things being recalled for that purpose to, like I said, it's a conspiracy. But, just once again, it kind of forces people to kind of do what they want you to do when you're limited on, certain things. But they're saying, ain't nobody safe out here. We can't do nothing. Even the air is contaminated. So that's why I say this is more just be aware and be mindful, and because it's like, oh, it could literally kill you. It really could kill you. Like, okay, so can the fluoride in the water eventually over time, or how it can, mess with our brain at some point. But that's why I don't drink too much. I don't drink tap water for the most part. Bottled water, but even with the bottled water, well, microplastic. Yeah, you're right. It's everything. Just what it is. What can they say they're trying to kill us for? They're trying to kill us, and for what? Like, you would think. And maybe I might do my conspiracy video on that topic, because it is kind of becoming like more of a topic now. And did Donald Trump sign something where, like, the whole 72 vaccine shots, like they're breaking that down now? And I'm like, why are they getting 72 shots anyway, whether it is within 18 years? Because even in my little 18 years, I wasn't getting no freaking 72 shots. Like, you don't think that's gonna mess with somebody's brain? But anyway, let's pin the video, and I'm gonna get out of here.
We just be steering clear of all berries altogether, or just specifically this brand? I mean, what are the best practices here?
Come here.
Yeah, like your house, my house is also a fan of the frozen fruit. And we're not going to be stopping to buy frozen blueberries altogether. But, this is another reason why people really need to pay attention to food recalls, whether it's, checking the FDA website or watching this show or other news programs. It's really important to stay sort of informed about these, because you don't want to stop eating all frozen fruit altogether or fruit altogether. They're healthy, nutritious foods, but definitely stay away from this brand, the Greenwise recalled frozen blueberries, and watch for any signs or symptoms of E. coli if you have been exposed to them recently.
But you can understand why people are freaked out, right? I mean, we're at this point now where we've been told to avoid certain types of lettuce, jalapenos. Now it's frozen berries. The problem is that someone has to get sick first before we figure out there's a problem here. Is there anything we can do ahead of time? Is rinsing your produce in the sink enough? Is there further steps that people can do to avoid the plethora of the outbreaks that seem to be out there?
It is enough, and it is what the FDA and the CDC recommend, is rinsing that fruit under warm or under cold running water. If you have fruits like apples or cucumbers, like vegetables like cucumbers, you can get a little bit more abrasive and scrub them a little bit harder, Ryan. But for most people out there, whether it's Cyclospora, Salmonella, or E. coli, just a real big reminder to practice those food safety tips, whether it's cooking your meat all the way, washing the countertops after you handle raw meat, washing those fruits and vegetables. The really.
And I know this is such taboo, but it's like, wash your meat too. I know. White people don't like to wash their meat, but even if it's like with some lime, lemon juice, vinegar, like, put something on there, right? But I wash my meat.
The best form of medicine is preventive medicine. You don't want to wait until you get sick, and then it could potentially be too late, Ryan.
All right, so I'm going to keep eating the berries, at least for now. Dr. Sayal, thank you so much for being here.
See?
We thank you for watching. And
Because of course you want to be careful, right? But it's like, okay, that particular brand, but is it gonna just stay with that particular brand? Who says it's? But I'm gonna go see what the list is, because I'm sure it's um they said this is extensive list of things being recalled now, and I'm just like, why I'm not surprised. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank y'all for coming and hearing me kind of rant off about, oh my God, not the fucking blueberries, because it's like, now you want to mess with the produce. Why I'm not surprised. But anyway, if you haven't already, and if you listen to the playback, hit that like button on your way out. Leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about this, atrocity that's happening and around the world. Is y'all gonna keep, letting them fearmonger you and keep living your life and do what you do? Or are you going to, be more careful on how you move? Like I said, farmers markets is definitely more of a way to go if you want to um, maybe get more fresher quality type of produce. But sometimes even with that, sometimes for me, farmers market could be hit and miss, because ain't every farmers market ain't hitting like it's supposed to be hitting to me, right? So that's why it's like I have one in particular that's like my favorite, but there are like maybe another one that I would go to, but it's like one of those. There's certain things that I like, or we can get from there. But yeah. Anyway, I will see y'all later. Said not just a brain. If they're putting monkey DNA, goose DNA, panda DNA, pigeon DNA, all those animal DNA in shots. Okay, exactly. Hello. But listen, okay. So le- uh, I need to check the guidelines when it comes, because see, that would be getting me striked. Those conversations, because they always strike me with medical misinformation, especially back in the day. But now the conversation is coming back around, and it's like on the other side now. So I feel like maybe, oh, I'm kind of safe in that regard to maybe kind of touch on the topic, because it's just like outside of the animal DNA, the formaldehyde, the aluminum, the mercury, and all the other ingredients that they put anything that they want to shoot in your baby right when they come out. Mm-mm. Something in me that said I'm not. So anyway, listen, I gotta go, y'all. So y'all have a wonderful night, evening. It is Friday Junior. Okay, I don't know who coined that, but I definitely got that from Candy. Friday Junior. Going to the weekend, and listen. Just stay tuned. You don't know what else may just be coming about, but I'm just keeping my eyes open, observing what's going on, and don't let this deter you to keep eating your produce, because that's what they want, right? That's what they want. Anyway, bye.